Pilgrims, we're going to be learning about things that happen on that real day with Pilgrims and Native Americans. You're going to see people like Squanto, Massasoit, Samoset.
Excuse me, Mr. J. I hate to ruin your introduction, but as one of your students, I think we better make sure our audience has a thorough understanding of what they're about to witness.
I realize that, Isabel, but this is an important time of teaching U.S. and Massachusetts history.
But does the audience really know where we got the freedom we're so thankful for? It all boils down to just one word.
What's the word?
And even before we board the Mayflower, I think it serves us well to discuss it.
Well, what's the word?
Democracy.
Democracy. We studied that back in our first unit. What does that have to do with Pilgrims, Mayflower, and Turkey?
Well, Mr. J, just give me a few minutes to explain before we start the play. I need a timeline. Anyone got a timeline out there?
I gotta go back here.
You see, Mr. J, the freedom to vote dates all the way back to Greece circa 500 BC, then Rome, Italy circa 600 BC.
What do Greece and Italy have to do with Pilgrims, Mayflower, or Turkey?
Where do you think we got the right to vote? That's what's going to happen on the Mayflower in scene 2 of this play.
Class, do you see democracy having anything to do with this?
Yes.
Then help us out. Does anyone remember where the idea of democracy came from?
We do, we do. It was the people of Greece and their government that came up with the idea of direct democracy. Demi means the people rule. In their society, all the people had the right to vote and make their nations in peace. Years later, the Romans liked the idea but made a change. They turned direct democracy into a public or representative government. They had it so the people voted for representatives from sections of the country. This way, the country could be sure they were picking someone that was well-educated and would represent the people. Over 1,000 years went by, and democracy was put to the side. England happened to have a monarchy where one person, namely a king, made all the laws. The people did not like it, so they forced the king in 1215 AD to adopt a democratic-style government. This is written in the famous document called the Magna Carta.
You mean the kings of England made all the decisions for the people?
Yes.
We can do a quick demo. Suppose we have a group of people at our Thanksgiving table, and the people had to decide what they wanted, like the people of a country deciding what their laws should be. Direct democracy of Greece was like this. Today's menu choices: turkey or moussaka. Turkey, moussaka, mashed potatoes or yogurt. Mashed potatoes, yogurt, pumpkin pie or baklava. Pumpkin pie, baklava, moussaka, yogurt, and baklava went for this year's dinner. Representative democracy of Italy will look like this. First, we'll obviously need our representatives. Today's menu choices: turkey or meatballs. Turkey, meatballs, mashed potatoes or pasta. Mashed potatoes, just one. Pasta, pumpkin pie or cannolis. Pumpkin pie, cannolis. Looks like each representative was in the mood for an Italian Thanksgiving. When England had no democracy, the king made the laws on everything with no representation from the people.
I want turkey, mashed potatoes, and pumpkin pie.
I see, Isabel. So when we see the signing on the Mayflower Compact, we'll know it's based on England's system of democracy.
That's right! This country, even before it became a country, based its governing on democracy.
Isabel, can we please celebrate Thanksgiving now by reenacting the very important story of the Pilgrims?
Okie dokie.
1620 to 1621, the Pilgrims' arrival, Thanksgiving at Plymouth. Act 1, Scene 1, November 11th, 1620, on the deck of the Mayflower, which is anchored off the coast of Cape Cod.
For the first time in 66 days, the passengers of the Mayflower are allowed up on deck. About half the people on board are separatists or pilgrims who have come to this new land in search of religious freedom. The other half, about 50 people, are strangers, the name given to them by pilgrims, servants and hired men. The strangers travel us to England to pursue a better economic life. Everyone's excited to see land. Trouble's brewing.
Cape Cod, that means we're off the coast in New England.
Just look at it, Mary. It's land all the same.
I see a tiger. Look, on the beach.
Well, I don't see anything.
It's gone now. Miles Dennis, one of the strangers, overhears the Alden conversation as he strolls by. He gives Isaac Alden a hearty pat on the back.
Mary's right. We're supposed to land in Virginia, not New England. Our contract says Virginia. If this isn't Virginia, then our contract's no good. We can do anything we want.
A little prayer won't hurt you, Miles Standish.
You'd have us on your knees praying from noon till midnight if you could. Now, you two.
Two crew members come to the railing and crowd the Alden to Standish. They fiddle with ropes and pretend to be adjusting knots.
Throw them all off, I say. It's land, ain't it?
We've barely got enough food and supplies to get us and ourselves back to England.
If they want Virginia, then they'll have to find her using their own 2 legs and carrying their own food. New England, full of trees. Do you know how many barrels John Alden can make out of all those trees? Look at the ocean, full of fish. You know how many fish those barrels will hold? Well, there'll be no stopping us.
What is barrels for the tiger?
Absolutely, and just to prove it, I'm going to catch that tiger and ship it across the sea to King James.
And who would get the blame when it ate up the king? Not you or any other strangers. We would. You can joke about it all you want, Miles Standish. You haven't been thrown into jail for your beliefs. You haven't been hanged.
Now, Mary, if I'd been hanged, how could I be here at all? Enough, you two. We have serious things to discuss.
Scene 2. That evening, the great cabin of the Mayflower. Pilgrims and strangers, men, women, and children are crowded into the cabin.
Messengers have run back and forth between pilgrims and strangers all morning and afternoon. At last it's agreed that some sort of document should be drawn up to spell how they should rule themselves. Pilgrims want to guarantee their religious freedom. Strangers want the freedom to follow their own religious beliefs and not the pilgrims. A set of rules and laws is finally agreed and written down. Isaac Alden is the last separatist man to sign the document known as the Mayflower Compact. He holds out the paper to Miles Standish.
Miles, I'd be honored to have your name signed with mine. England's an ocean away. I guess we're stuck with each other.
Miles Standish signed the compact. One by one, the remaining men, the working strangers from the richest to poorest, their male servants, and hired legal men added their names to the paper. At this time, English women had no separate legal voice. None of the women's names appear on the Mayflower Compact.
Okay, Isabel, now we have the Mayflower Compact where everyone came together and voted on a set of rules and laws. You mean to say, Isabel, that this democracy idea from the Greeks, then to the Romans, and then in 1215 England came into one of America's first documents?
That's what I said the entire time.
Oh, sorry. I guess I wasn't listening. Wow. Let's move on to Act 2.
Mr. J, I feel bad breaking the flow of our play, but not only should we be thankful for the Mayflower Compact, but we need to be thankful for another document that the Mayflower Compact set the stage that got our country complete freedom from England.
I guess we need to hear about that one too.
Timeline, please. After the Mayflower Compact of 1620, England settled 13 colonies until 1776. Representatives from each colony felt it necessary to break away from the USA as we know it. This happened after King George's reign. England was too controlling of the colonies, taxed them here and there to pay for past war debts all without representation. So, famous Thomas Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence to show the USA's independence from England.
I am going to make my signature really large so that King George can get the point.
Wow. So when the USA became a country, representatives voted on declaring independence. Gee, let's move on to find out what happens with our pilgrims. Act 2, Scene 1, March 16th, 1621. The woods surrounding the town of Plymouth. Mary and Remember Allerton are playing and collecting sticks of firewood. They don't see Samoset, who's watching them from behind a tree and enjoying their games.
Exploring parties go up to search for a good site to build a town. Some find seed corn buried in baskets and take the corn back to the Mayflower. In late December of 1620, a party finds a site with a stream near it and then fields of corn. The site was once a protected Indian village. The Pilgrim and strangers agreed to build their town here at Plymouth. That first winter is hard. Many people die of illness, probably tuberculosis or pneumonia, but building goes on. A common house is raised first. After that, about 5 or 6 rough houses are finished. Then, in the spring, the visitor arrives.
Okay, how many sticks you have? Whoever has the most sticks gets plenty with their breadsmith. I have 223 sticks.
How many sticks do I have to beat you?
I have 223 sticks. So about 1,011 more.
How many sticks do I have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You may have about 10 sticks. So about 1,000 more.
Oh!
Not only 999 more sticks. Try counting your pile again, little brother. It's 212 sticks to me.
You're an Indian.
Oh, do I have to give the stick back to him?
Hey, wait a minute. Wait just a minute. I can understand him. He's not Indian. He's speaking English.
We can talk in my language if you want. Do you speak any Abenaki?
No, but I know some Dutch.
You got me there. I bet my friend Squanto does, though. He's been to England and Spain. Might be he picked up some Dutch along the way.
Is Squanto an Indian?
He's a Patuxet. He used to live here, where your village is. Those are their cornfields.
Uh-oh. Are they going to write anything back?
They're all dead. Some sickness. Squanto's the only Patuxet left. Maybe it's a good thing he got kidnapped and taken across the ocean. So who's in charge around here?
We got a governor.
Comes good. Take me to your governor.
Remember in the Arlington, lead Somerset to the Common House in Plymouth. A business meeting is being held inside. A large bird is by the door. Welcome, Englishmen, Somerset says, and introduces himself. The surprised Englishman leads to a meeting with Master Sawyer, the most powerful leader in the area, and chief of the Wampanoag people. Somerset also promises to bring Squanto.
Scene 2. March 22nd, 1621, outside the Plymouth Meeting House. The people of Plymouth are awaiting the arrival of Massasoit.
I'm not saying I don't trust Somerset of this Massasoit. I'm a soldier, and a soldier's job is to be prepared. Just make sure none of your men start waving their swords around. I just want the Indians to know that they'll pay to keep stealing our tools.
They're coming! They're coming! Hundreds of them!
Did you see Somerset?
Yes, he's in front of the group. Master Soyer's going to move slowly into the cabin. Governor Carver gives a signal. The sound of the drums and the trumpet fill the air. Carver recognizes Master Sawyer's power and authority by kissing the Wampanoag leader's hand. Somerset walks from group to group, greeting the comrades. He turns to introduce Squanto, but Squanto's looking around his old home.
Your visit is a great honor, Master Sawyer. We have many things to talk about. Missing tools for one. Miles Standish, Chief.
Knights that higher. We must see one who stole the corn from the payments. Dug it up and took their baskets too.
You must be hungry and thirsty after your trip, Master Sawyer. Let's have some refreshments before we talk.
The English and the Wampanoags are curious about each other, but they are suspicious of each other too. After everyone has had something to eat and to drink, the two groups sit down together. Master Sawyer and Governor Carver, with the help of Squanto, who interprets for them, discuss many things.
We believe in peace. We welcome you. But we welcome others like you before. You kidnapped us. You bring sickness to us. Look at what you've done to Squanto. Look at what you've done to his village.
We come in peace to lose here in peace. We know what it's like to be hunted and to lose our homes.
What he says is true.
Then we must help each other. You pay for the corn you took, you'll get your tools back. If any of my people hurt you, I will punish them. I ask you to do the same.
Agreed. We will not take from each other or fight each other.
And if someone attacks you, I will take your side. If someone attacks me, will you take mine?
No, sir. We're not responsible for what got stirred up before we got here. We are friends. An attack on you is an attack on me.
Impeachment between the Plymouth community and Wampanoags lasted for the next 50 years. Master Sawyer will leave the next day, but Squanto stays behind.
It was really cool to see how the native Wampanoags made friends with the English colonists. But that didn't last long, only 50 years. Trouble fell between the natives and the English. Speaking of trouble, will I get in trouble if I express my Thanksgiving for a document that actually fair and led us to a better form of democracy?
Well, let's vote Greek style. Who wants to hear about that document? Go right ahead.
After the USA won independence from England, democracy got off to a bumpy start. The new USA in 1781 felt they needed a set of rules to run the government, just like the Pilgrim created the Mayflower Compact to run the colony. The new Americans attempted to write a plan. It was called the Articles of Confederation. Though it had good intentions, it was a failed document. Just picture it, 13 colonies not going to have a strong central government.
No more king. No more king. No more king, no more king.
One of the biggest reasons why the articles failed is because each state had different currency. Can you imagine?
I'm going to Rhode Island to buy me some clams.
I'm sorry, that kind of cash simply doesn't work here.
Our new government needs to make some changes.
Speaking of changes, let's get back to 1620 to find out how things changed for the English colony in Massachusetts. Act 3, Scene 1. Late spring 1621, the fields around Plymouth.
Squanto teaches the Plymouth settlers many things. How to catch fish in the brook, how to use fish as fertilizer in the field, the best way to plant corn, and how to tap the sap of native trees. He also guides them on expeditions around the countryside and along the coast, and sometimes Squanto talks about his own life.
1, 2, 3, 4. Cover the corn.
1, 2, 3, 4. Cover the corn.
1, 2, 3, 4. Cover the corn.
Good. Now we'll dig a hole for the herring.
Will our corn taste like fish?
No, it makes the corn taste more like corn. You'll see.
I bet they were here. They were living where you used to live.
My people are gone. If you had pushed them out of their village, then I'd be mad.
When an English sea captain kidnapped you. Does that mean you hate the English?
If you hated us, then you might try to talk us into planting fish close to our corn.
I don't hate anyone. I don't hate the English captain. I don't hate the Spanish priest he sold me to. I ran away from them, to England, but I don't hate them.
Are you going to run away from us, Squanto?
This is my home. I won't leave it no matter what anybody does to
Do you miss England a little bit? I do.
me. A little bit.
Maybe in about 50 years we can go back and visit England and maybe safe for all of us.
Maybe. Here. Throw in your corn. Less talking, more planting.
Just think, the 50 years passed and the natives were taken over by English colonists. Although many native villages were taken over by the English, many were still lost and left the land. I bet you're all wondering what happened to the Articles of Confederation. Well, that first plan of government was removed, and by a special meeting of some famous people like Thomas Jefferson, Ben Franklin, John Adams, and most famous James Madison, met in Philadelphia to create the U.S. Constitution, a brilliant document that still stands today as our plan of government. I know you're all waiting to see the end of the Pilgrim play, but can I just give a quick demonstration to help our audience understand our government as it is written in the Constitution?
Just take over the class, Kelsey.
Well, first you have the preamble, which basically says,
We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice and ensure domestic tranquility. Yeah, yeah. Provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
and then you have the articles that set up our three-branch government as follows.
Legislative. Laws are created by my branch. The Congress of the Senate, made up of 100 people, 2 from each state. And the House of Representatives, made up of 435 state reps. We work in the Capitol building in Washington, D.C.
Judicial. Here at the Supreme Court, my branch, we settle problems between states. There are 9 justices, the highest judges in the land. We make sure everything is constitutional.
Executive. I am the president in my cabinet and I enforce the laws.
Hey, don't forget about me. You may think that because the president is on the top has all the power like King George III of England did. Think again. Each branch checks the other and has special jobs to keep democracy strong. Without this system, our country would topple. Well, there you have democracy at its best. And what makes it even better is that we have a Bill of Rights in our Constitution that help keep all U.S. citizens living in harmony.
Wow, from the Mayflower Compact to the Constitution, all in one play. Look how democracy stays strong through American history. I guess we do have something to be thankful for. We are really blessed to be Americans. Well, on with the show. Scene 2. Fall 1621 Thanksgiving celebration in Plymouth.
Thanks to sponsors, the Parkside Fall was plentiful. The people of Plymouth decided to celebrate. They invited Massasoit, Samoset, and of course sponsors to their day of Thanksgiving. Everyone attended, including 90 local ones. The lawn in front of the concourse is filled with tables. The tables are loaded with food, like venison, duck, geese, turkey, lobsters, eel pie, salad greens, bread, and plum eaters.
Oh no, there must be 100 people in Massasoit. We don't have enough food for everyone. We'll just have to send the men out for more fish again. I'll round up the children to get more berries and plums.
So much food! We bought 5 deer for the feast. I hope that's not too much.
Oh, you shouldn't have.
Everyone piles their plates high with food. But before eating, William Bradford, the new governor of Plymouth, offers his thanks to the guests.
We have suffered much this year, yet we have much to give thanks for. We have lost many friends, yet we have gained the friendship of Massasoit and his people and of Samoset. We are most grateful that Squanto has returned to his home. He is truly God blessing to us. Massasoit, would you say a few words?
Every year we give thanks for our harvest. We call our celebration the Green Corn Dance. We may jest differently, and we may call celebrations by different names, but sometimes we are not so different.
Let's eat!
Okay, were they not awesome? They were awesome. Girls, I want you to stand up, and we're going to do a round of applause. You could do a little curtsy, okay?